Hey y'all! How are y'all doing? My name is Melissa. Some call me Mo. For those who are just now joining me, that's who I am. For those who already have seen a few of my videos and you're coming back, thanks and welcome back. Have you ever wanted to add eye-catching texture to your crochet projects? Your puff, popcorn, and bobble stitches are the perfect way to do this. By the end of this video, you're going to master these 3 textured stitches and learn how to use them in your own creative projects. What are we going to need, you might ask? I'm glad you asked. We're going to use our Red Heart yarn. I know, cheapy yarn. Well, at the time it was really cheapy too. It was $1.97, so this is old school stuff. Not my favorite, but it'll work. We're going to use our 5mm stitch, or excuse me, our 5mm hook, which is also the equivalent to a size H. We're going to use our trusty darning needle or thread needle that is appropriate to your size. And somewhere in this mess over here that I have in my pile, oh, here they are, my trusty scissors for snipping off that end. All right, so what we're going to be working on today is the puff stitch, popcorn stitch, and bobble stitch. We're going to go through each and every single one of them. So the puff stitch is a soft, puffy texture created by pulling up multiple loops. And then the popcorn stitch is a compact cluster of stitches that pops off the fabric. So it literally looks like popcorn. And your bobble stitch is a rounded, playful texture perfect for accents. These stitches, they are great for blankets, scarves, decorative elements like flowers or borders. So we're going to actually start with the puff stitch. I'm just going to kind of do some random numbers here. Maybe we'll just start with a chain of, well, let's go with 12. Oh, why not? Don't really, because we're just doing kind of like a swatch, so I'm not going to do a particular item, not going to do a particular stitch, so we're just going to go with a chain of 12. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. The puff stitch is worked by pulling up loops multiple times into the same stitch before completing it. So this is kind of how we're going to do it. Okay, so we're just going to go with the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook. Let me get a little bit closer here. And we're going to insert our hook. And let's say we want a skinny puff. So we're just going to yarn over, pull up that loop, yarn over again, pull up a loop. So now we have 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again, pull up our loop. So now we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 strands of yarn on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over one more time, and we're going to pull through all 7 of those threads. Now I like to secure it with a single crochet at the top, but that's not always necessary. So we're going to keep on practicing. So I'm going to skip the next stitch and we're going to go into the next stitch. Or excuse me, the next chain. We're going to skip that one and then this next chain after. So we're going to yarn over. Let's do it 3 times. There's 2 and there's 3. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. Now let's look at what it's going to look like if I just go straight into the next one without putting that single crochet at the top, or excuse me, that chain at the top. We're going to go to our next one. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go to the next one. Yarn over, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull up that loop. So that was 3 times, I think. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That's how you know if it was the right amount. All right, then we're pulling through all 7 loops. So it kind of I don't know that it really made much of a difference, but I do like securing it with that extra chain at the top. Now we're going to skip one, go to the next one, go 1, 2, and 3, and yarn over, pull through all of them. Well, I don't like the way that looks. It looks like I kind of need to put an extra. Let's go back. So we're just winging it today. So I kind of don't like that because it doesn't look like it's uniform, like it's making a U shape, and I don't like that. So since we're skipping a stitch, we're going to do another chain in between. Then we're going to do that 1, 2, and 3, and then yarn over, pull through all of those loops. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip a stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. That was 3 times. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. And we're going to chain at the top to secure that, and then do one more chain. And then we're going to skip the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, just that fast I forgot my count. And we're going to pull through all 7 loops, chain 1. Now it looks like I'm going to land on an uneven one, so we're just going to play around with that and just kind of go with it. All right, we're going to pull over, do those 3 yarn overs and pull up, and then we're going to pull through all 7 of those loops. Then chain 1 to secure that. Oh yeah, that looks much better with that extra loop in between. So that is the puff stitch. What I'm going to do, we're going to go back and we're going to do a single crochet in the next round in each one of those across. So we want to make sure that we have, oh, this was an odd number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need to make sure that we at least have 10 single crochets, I believe. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, well, looks like it's going to be 10, 9, and then 10. And you'll notice that I actually, what I did was that I crocheted in between each one. So I crocheted at the top of each of the puff stitches, and then I crocheted in between each puff stitch, top, between, top, between, top, between, top, between. So it's not like filet crochet where you have to be more exact. It's just finding a spot and putting a stitch there, basically. All right, so let's just take a look at that. That is our puff stitch. And if you want to, go ahead and give it a little more practice, and you can do a chain of let's just do it together, I guess. So we're gonna do a puff stitch, yeah, just a chain of 1. So we're gonna do a puff stitch in that first one. We're gonna do 1, 2, and 3. There we go again with that. Chain 2, we're going to skip that. Except for that looks very weird. Let's just go with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a practice. 3. Oh, that's right, 3. Stop at 3. And we're going to secure that, put another stitch at the top. We're going to skip. So the way I'm doing it this way, it's going to create an unbalanced it's going to be unbalanced. So I don't know if I can leave it that way. You'll see what I mean. So we're skipping a stitch, and then we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Oh no. I lost it. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it's kind of unbalanced, but that's okay because we're practicing at this point. So you can kind of see that it's kind of alternating. If you're more of a perfectionist, you can go back and eliminate that first, well, it would have been the last single crochet on that last round, and then just go straight into that top one and go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do that. I'm going to fix what I did here so that I have it more uniform so that our next rows that we're working on are a little bit easier for us to manage. So we're going to dive into the popcorn stitch next. All right, we got that fixed up real good. You see how soft and fluffy those look now? And you can make them even bigger and even fluffier by just adding a few more stitches in there. You know, a couple more yarn overs, maybe do 5 instead of 3 like I did. I just didn't want the video to be, 2 hours long today. So, not that I don't want you guys to watch and enjoy my company, but, Okay, so if you haven't already, go ahead and do a row of single crochets across. So I just did a single crochet in each puff stitch and in between each puff stitch. Now we're going to turn. We're going to chain 2 and turn. So we're going to go into the popcorn stitch. The popcorn stitch creates a bold texture by working multiple stitches into the same space, and then we secure them together. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So what I'm going to do in this first chain 2, that counts as your first double crochet. So I'm going to crochet another 5 double crochets in that same space. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to secure it, and this is going to probably be counterintuitive, and you're probably going to have some anxiety on this one. So what I'm going to do is I pull out my loop just a little bit longer at first to so that as I'm learning this. So I take my hook off the loop or out of the loop, and then I'm going to go to this first stitch, which is, in this case, it is that chain 2 that we did at the very beginning. Then we're going to put our hook through, and we're going to grab this loop, and we're going to put it back on our hoop, and we're going to pull it through that loop. Now, you can just keep on going. Because I already started doing this with 1 chain in between, I'm just going to go ahead and secure that with 1 chain and then chain another one. We're going to skip that next stitch, and I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do it in reverse because you see how much different that is? I mean, it like sticks out like popcorn, right? So we're going to crochet 5 double crochets in that stitch. 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to do it the opposite way so that you can see it a little bit better. Maybe I'll do a little zoom in here. So I'm going to drop my stitch. I'm going to insert my hook into that first double crochet. Oops, let's go the opposite direction. And then I'm going to grab that loop and I'm going to pull it through. So basically we're going to do a slip stitch. So now you see that my bobble is the opposite direction, but I don't want it to stay that direction. I want my bobbles to all go the same direction. But as you can see, I just wanted to show you that. So one, you could see that a little bit better. And then two, so you could see that you can actually change the direction of that popcorn stitch. Then we're going to chain one, well, secure that and then chain one. Then we're going to go into, we're going to skip one, go into the next stitch. And sometimes they use like the puff stitch, they'll use that to make it look like a flower or something like that. And same way with the popcorn stitch, really. Popcorn stitch is a good one for when you're doing, well, any of them really are good for when you're doing free form, because they add visual interest and height and dimension to your project. All right, so now we're going to go into the next one. We're going to do 5 double crochets in that next stitch. 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to drop that. I'm going to pull that loop just a little bit. I'm going to drop it. We're going to insert our hook. We're going to grab that loop and pull it through. Now, if I did a popcorn stitch in every single one, man, we would not have enough room. It would be so fat. It'd be like my dog right now. She's trying to become a little butterball. She's always begging for zuzus and wham-whams. Like, I go and get coffee and she's right under my feet because she wants some of the whipped cream. I eat banana chips. I made the mistake of giving her banana chips. So now every time I eat a banana chip, she wants some. And then she thinks that I got something good and I'm eating carrots and broccoli. And so I give her a carrot and she looks at me like I just grew 5 horns. Okay, so there you go. It kind of looks just like popcorn, right? Let's zoom in so you can see that a little bit more clearly. Isn't that fun? I absolutely love the popcorn stitch. I think it's such a fun stitch. All right, so we're gonna go and do the same thing like we did before. We're gonna go into the back. We're going to do a row of single crochets. Oh, well, maybe. What in the world do I got going on here? Okay, we did that. Okay, that's what the problem was. So you see that was kind of a little awkward, so I had to find the right stitch behind there to get, and I'll show you on this one. So we're going to go in that space. So if you look at this from the front, it's this space right here, with a space right there. So we're going to put our single crochet in there. And I do this so it makes it a little bit easier, so it lays a little bit flatter, so, you know, you guys have a better visual. I don't know why I say you guys. It's probably just an American thing that we always say that, right? We're so weird. Fat and sassy, just like my dog. As she is in her other chair over here, just snoozing away. Barks like all hell is breaking loose and then just goes right to sleep. Yay, I got a lovely knot down the line here. All right, so now we're going to chain 2. We're going to turn. We're going to do 4. Let's go out here. We're going to do 4 double crochets in that first one because what? Because our first chain 2 counts as our first double crochet. All right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to drop our loop, except for it's not dropping very well because I have that knot right there. As my friend would say. She's 30 years my senior. She says, "Well, you bugger-faced dog." Oh, they just crack me up. I used to go over to her house all the time with the little old ladies, and they would be playing their card games, and all I would hear is, "You bugger-faced dog, you old heifer, what'd you do that for?" They cracked me up. Yeah, those were the days. And that was when I was in my early 20s, and you know, hanging out with 30 people that were 30 years my senior was like weird, you know, because I had a lot in common with them, I guess, because I used to do home care. Well, I did healthcare for 20 years, and so I was surrounded by nothing but the senior citizens. And man, I always had a lot of fun with those people. I'm not a senior citizen yet, but I can see somebody saying that about me someday. All right, we're dropping that loop. We're picking it up again. So at this point, what I'm doing is that I'm just giving you the time to practice and to watch this over and over again. Gives you lots of practice doing this. And this would actually be a fun, just the way I'm doing it, you know, alternating doing a couple rows of puffs and a couple rows of popcorn, and then we're gonna probably do a couple rows of the bobble stitch. That would actually make kind of a fun scarf. But yeah, so this actually would make scarves. It would make blankets. I know a lot of people use the popcorn stitch with sweaters because it does make things visually appealing. Patterns. I know my one friend, she also crochets, and she would make patterns in her quilts that way, or not her quilts, or her afghans that way. She would create like a heart shape using the popcorns. All right, so we're going to turn and we're going to create another row of single crochets. Oops, what did I do? Look at that. See, y'all got me talking, and then I totally messed up my own design here. So I did 4, but I didn't do the 5th one. That must have been when I was telling a story. I'm going to insert my hook, pull out that loop, chain the 2, then try that again. I thought it looked weird. And y'all didn't stop me? That wasn't nice. Supposed to stop me in the middle of doing something stupid like that. Just say, hold the video, pause it. You made a mistake. All right, now we're going to turn. We're going to do a row of single crochets. Sometimes I just get into a zone and I completely forget that I'm doing a video. That's crazy, right? Yep, single crochet all the way across. And this is that one that you can't really see where it's at. It's right there. Can you see where I put it? There you go. All right. Let's take a look at that from the front. Oh, that is so cute. Look at how playful and dimensional that is. It makes so much fun. You can tell your husband or your wife, hey, I made popcorn today. And they're going to be like, where's the popcorn? Did you put butter on it? Okay, that was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. All right, so we're gonna just go take a minute to pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, I made it back. I just needed a real quick break to wet my whistle, and My dog is actually sitting behind me, coveting the cold black, well, I guess it's not black, but the cold coffee that my husband left out. It was really nice of him to do that, wasn't it? Okay, so now we're going to get into the bobble stitch. So we did that row of single crochets. We're going to turn this puppy around. I'm going to do a chain of 2, just because I can. And in that first stitch, it's kind of a combination of the puff and the bobble. So we're actually going to do multiple stitches in the same spot, but we're not going to pull through, you know, like the bobble, we did 5 double crochets, right? Well, we're not going to do a full double crochet. We're just going to leave that last loop on there. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to do yarn over, pull up, loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to leave those 2 stitches on our hook. We're going to do that again. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 3 on our hook. I'm going to keep doing that another couple times. So now we have 4, and then we have 5. So remember this count. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. So now we have what is called a bobble stitch. Doesn't quite stand out as much as the popcorn stitch. That's what makes the popcorn stitch, right? All right, so let's do that again. So I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I did for the other rows. I'm gonna do the secured chain and chain 1, and then we're gonna skip 1 and go into the next one. So here we go again. I'm going to go a little bit closer so you can see it. So we're gonna yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 2 on our hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Same thing, we're going to do that again. And this time we're going to go until we have 6, because remember, this is our first chain. And we want to have basically 5 individual stitches there. There we go. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull through all 6 of those stitches. Keep going. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and keep going until you have 6 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to pull through all 6 of those loops. Starting to look kind of cool, huh? All right, so we're going to keep going. Skip that 1. Going to go into the bobble stitch. 5. And then now we have 6 loops on our hook. We're going to pull through all. So it's that very first stitch of the row where you're only going to have 5 loops on that as the bobble. And then the rest of them will have 6 loops. All right, so that last one, we got to find that stitch. So it's not this right here. I know our instinct goes directly to the middle of that popcorn stitch, but it's not. It's this right here, this single crochet right here. All right, one more. And pull through all 6 loops. And we're going to chain 1, turn, do a single crochet in each space and each stitch across. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up those single crochets. We're going to do one more round of the bobble stitch. We're going to chain 2, turn our work, go into that first stitch, and then we're going to do 5 of those stitches and have 5 of those loops on our hook. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull through all 5. Do those 2. We're going to skip. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, one last bobble stitch to go. Three, 4, and 5, and then pull through all 6 loops and secure it with a single crochet at the top. There you go. How about that? That was a fun little experiment. So you can see the difference between these. Oh, let me turn the other way here. So this is the bobble stitch, and this is the popcorn stitch, and then this is our puff stitch. So can you tell the difference between those? Look at how fun that is. All right, so try them out in your next project, and do not be afraid to be creative. But this is so awesome. You actually have mastered these 3 amazing textured stitches, so great job. Drop a comment below for me. What stitch is your favorite? Let me know what techniques you'd like to learn more of. And next time we'll explore single crochet and double crochet foundation rows. So this is an essential technique to create flawless foundations to your projects. So you don't want to miss that. And one last thing to comment about was that your support helps me bring more crochet inspirations. So don't forget to subscribe and share with your fellow crocheters. Until next time, bye.